out of Chicago. Public school classes are canceled this morning. That's because of a clash between the teachers union and city officials. The union voted late last night, to switch to virtual learning amid a surge in COVID cases and staff shortages. City leaders instead moving to call off classes altogether, saying no one signs up to homeschool at the last minute.
We don't know how long the CTU leadership will try to stretch this work stoppage. What we were originally told it was going to be a single day of action. Now we heard later today that it's going to be through January 18th. But the fact of the matter is that we have an obligation to advocate on behalf of parents and children and be their voice at the table. And that's precisely what we have done, and that's precisely what we will continue to do.
Ooh, some issues there. The kids matter, though. Stacy Davis Gay, she is the vice president of the Chicago Teachers Union, and she joins us right now. Stacy, first of all, good morning to you. Thanks for joining us here. Earlier, we heard you in our open say the mayor is failing our students. What did you mean by that?
Very clearly, science is telling us in order to keep our school communities open that we need mitigations in place. Testing is not in place in our school communities. The vaccination rates for our elementary school students are abysmally low. 70% of our elementary school students are not vaccinated. And in communities of color, it is even worse for the families. We have pleaded, we have begged her, our mayor, to anchor vaccination sites in our school communities to make it easier for families. We have begged her to make testing more regular. We were told yesterday that Amazon has rapid tests.
Okay, all right, so obviously the teachers want to feel safe in the classroom. I don't know how much you can do about the vaccination rates when it comes to students, because a lot of times that is obviously the parents' decision on whether they want to get their kids vaccinated or not. But besides the testing, what more can the city do to make you feel safe in the classroom?
Well, our school district, our mayor received $2 billion from the Biden administration to implement testing. When we look at school districts in Los Angeles, what we are seeing is that students and staff are getting tested regularly. We see that they have a robust contact tracing, a logistical team set up. We see that vaccinations are being mandated for students, like vaccinations for mumps, measles, and rubella and polio are mandated. We have not seen that effort to put the social-emotional supports inside of our school communities for our students who are struggling in this moment. We have begged for partnership. Yesterday, our mayor said that she didn't need the partnership of educators, and she locked us out of our classrooms.
The school district has said it will provide 200,000 KN95 masks in return to daily COVID testing. Do you have a timing issue with that offer or the offer itself?
Those masks are still in the warehouse. They have not been delivered to school communities, and they are not available for our students. Our students are in school communities as well. They are a part of the unvaccinated community, and we're going to need them for them too. The plans have been haphazardly implemented. They are being implemented through press release and not actually in our classrooms. Listen, I have 3 children in the Chicago public school system. We have had quite the year. My son has lost 3 critical teachers this year because they don't feel supported, they don't feel protected, and they don't feel safe. We have got to do better. Again, the Biden administration sent $2 billion to us. We cannot see those things in our school communities right now. That money to put mitigations in place has not been used to put mitigations in place. We have been backed into a corner, and our mayor is to blame.
Where's the money going, Stacy? Where do you think it's going?
Well, that's a great question, and one that we've been asking for. They've refused to provide an itemized list of where the funds have gone. We certainly don't see them in our classrooms. Like I told you, the face coverings are still in the warehouse. The testing debacle over the Christmas break, where they spent millions of dollars only to have tests that were invalidated because logistically they did not pick them up. They did not get them to the lab in time. This has just been a debacle of epic portion. The only thing that has anchored our school system in this moment are the families and the educators that work hand in glove in the school communities. If you allow the people who need the district the most to help lead the policy and the implementation of the policy, we believe that it can work. Again, testing is something that LA is doing very well, I might add. Part two of this is that we have the funds. We just do not see the funds implemented in our school communities. When we say follow the science, we are also saying follow the mitigations. You can follow the science and say schools are safe, but they're safe when mitigations are in place, and we are not experiencing those mitigations in our school communities.
Yeah, we got to follow the science, we got to follow the safety. Obviously, you're saying you got to follow the funds as well. So how are talks going? If they're ongoing right now, how would you describe them?
I describe them as stalled, to be perfectly honest. We have been in nonstop negotiations with the district for the last 2 years. The tone and tenor that our mayor takes in these negotiations makes it very hard to come to a conclusion. In fact, yesterday was the first time that they offered us a proposal in months in terms of how they're going to implement mitigations well. And that was 8 minutes before they had a press conference. We need real leadership.
Yeah, well, we need some communication. We need you guys to get it together, because obviously it's not about the adults here. It's about the children, right? I know we can agree with that. I know the city and I know the teachers union would agree with that, because of the social skills and getting them back in the classroom to have a proper and safe learning environment. You heard Mayor Lightfoot just say that she heard that it was going to be one day, and now she's hearing it's going to be January 19th. How far and how long are you guys willing to go until something gets done?
Well, the vote last night was to teach remotely. All of the major school districts, with the exception of New York City, Atlanta, Detroit, Los Angeles, are all on delay right now. They're on delay because they recognize the rising positivity rates with the virus. We are also experiencing rising hospitalization rates. We're also experiencing rising pediatric hospitalization rates. Other districts are working well with the people who are doing the work inside the buildings. Listen, this is not just an issue with the teachers in Chicago. This is an issue with most people in Chicago. Our mayor has never missed an opportunity to fight with the governor, to fight with council members, to fight with members of our General Assembly. Everyone is wrong except for our mayor. Again, this is a pandemic. We need leadership. As a mother of 3 children who attend the Chicago Public Schools, I need the mitigations in place so my children can remain in school, and we need leadership.
Yeah, we got to get all that done. Stacy Davis Gates, we really appreciate you, Vice President of Chicago Teachers Union. Thanks for joining us here on Start Your Day for your perspective on this matter. All right, yeah, well, the bottom line is, Sharon, is they got to get something done. And it sounds like the mayor and the teachers union obviously has a disconnect. You got a bunch of adults obviously wanting to look out for the children, but it's the children at the end that's going to suffer in all of this, because they're not in the classroom. They're not getting the proper learning. We know that learning virtually isn't the same as learning in the classroom, but you can't go into the classroom unless the teachers and the students and everybody that's involved in that school district feels safe.
And when is that going to happen? Because you have polar opposites here. Lightfoot, who she's not going to back down. We've seen this before. She's gone up against the police, the fire unions, who, she's on an island, and it seems like she's happy to be there. And then over here you got the teachers union. And our friend there, Stacy Davis Gates, a real one. You don't want to go up against the Chicago Teachers Union, Mike, okay? They said what they said. They took the vote that they took. And she going to leave her Christmas decorations up as long as she wants to as well, okay? It's a very powerful union. And they're going to do it their way. They might know where Jimmy Hoffa is, okay? You don't want to go up against them because they're going to back the teachers and their position all the way. She made strong points when it comes to the kids. You hate to see a vote taken at the last minute. I had to pick up remote learning supplies and devices and the like and go over links and things for my precious Ava, okay? we got
Right.
several days notice. You can't do it overnight. You know, and not everybody, there was even a link that said if you don't have transportation and you need your device delivered. Chicago is huge. It's a huge city.
Right.
Tremendous need, the children there. So planning and collaboration needed to take place, and clearly that's not happening.
Yeah, I mean, from both sides, obviously the mayor, the city should be doing their parts to make the city and the school feel safe. Obviously, the vote coming the way it did, preparation, like you said, happening overnight. You know, it's kind of impossible to get something done just like that and have classes done virtually today. That's why they had to cancel classes today.
Yeah.
Who suffers in the end is the children. But she made a really good point once again.
Yep.
I asked her, I said, where's this money? She's talking about the Biden administration sent all this money to the city of Chicago, and the masks that was supposed to be delivered, they haven't been delivered somewhere, supposedly in a warehouse right now. So that's something that needs to be looked into in the city of Chicago. And we know that the city of Chicago has had a history of, let's just throw it out there, corruption in the past. And I'm not saying that this is the case right now, but you may find Jimmy Hoffa quicker than you find that money, if you think about that. You know what I'm saying? So where is the money? Where is the funding that's coming from the government, that's coming from our tax dollars? Because it's the government sending that money to a particular city. So it's coming out of my pocket here in LA. It's coming out of your pocket there in Atlanta, going to the city of Chicago, which it should, for the children. So where is the money that's supposed to be going to these classrooms to help the children? That is the question that needs to be answered right now.
I'd like to see Mayor Lightfoot. I'd like to see her on here. You know, I've asked for that before, and I'd like maybe she'll answer these questions. You know, because at the end of the day, we have to figure out why every child can't have a mask and why there's not testing. My daughter, if she doesn't, but if she forgot a mask, whether it's on the school bus or when she walks into the door of the elementary school, go ahead, take one. Testing takes place every week. You have to opt out, okay? So they've got to, both sides can probably do some things different, but it sounds like the ball's in the mayor's court, as she accuses the teachers of canceling classes, and they say, no, you canceled classes, we were prepared to go virtual. The kids, like you said, the kids are suffering.
At the end of the day. All right, we'll see how that resolves. We'll keep an eye on that, of course, right here.